Okay, this video is about laying horses, and we're having a look at the Doomben meeting, the first couple of races on the 18th of the 8th, 21. Now the track's a soft 5. This race is already run, but the analysis was done before the race. We're just going over it just as an indicator here. So if we have a look at the market for this race, you'll see that we have this $1.45 favourite, which is a fair way down. So the first thing you want to be looking for when you're going to lay horses is that it's going to be a fair way down in the market. Doesn't mean it can't win, but that's one of the features you want to look for. Another thing that you obviously want to look for is the price, showing $1.45. So in other words, any time a horse is under even money, it should be considered from a lay or a bet viewpoint. So if we have a look at the form of the horse very quickly, we'll see that it ran second last start of the Gold Coast. So it's going from Gold Coast to Doomben, which as far as I'm concerned is up in class a little bit. If we have a look at some of the other features, it tends to get back in the run. It hasn't had the greatest of barriers. Today it's got barrier 1 though, but looking at this, it looks like it's probably going to get back 25 days off, so it might have lost a little bit of edge in terms of fitness. Looking at the win place percentages, which can be useful, so if we can find them. Last start he ran in an 18% race, so there's 18% places. He's going into this race today with 41% places. It doesn't necessarily mean anything, but it's a negative feature for that horse. The other thing, if we have a look at the sectional ratings, sorted according to high to low, we'll find that Alonso Enzo is a fair way back. He's got a better barrier and he's made up ground, but then there's nothing to say that he's not going to get back and still make up ground and not win the race. Also, it was a negative split race last time, which means they run home slower than they went out. So they went out hard, which should have suited the horse better. On the second last start, maybe it was just a bad run that last run. On the second last run, it's still down on the figures. So on that basis, it looks like a reasonable lay in the race. If we have a look at the result, this is of course the beauty of the system. You can just add the result back in. You can hide it for the whole day. You can analyse the race. You can use it as a sandbox, as the term is. You can sandbox the whole meeting. Then you can come out with your selections and see how you went. So as it was, Brave Warrior was an over. Alloro Enzo ran second, and whoever ran third, Coolum, which was also an over. So this is not to say you would have done overs in this race necessarily. The next race to consider, let's turn off the result. You may already know the result for this race. The next race is another race with another short price favourite. The price on Betfair in that first one was $1.60, which was quite a luxurious price given it run second. This is another race here where we have another short price favourite. Now there's only 5 runners. I would recommend generally not betting in this sort of race. Certainly not betting in this race as being, your best bet for the day, because this Shaijin certainly only needs 4 other horses to be having an off day, and it can still end up winning. So there's nothing to say that, it can still win even though it's not any good. We have a look at the comparisons for this one. So comparisons are always useful. If we have a look at Shaijin, well, here it is here. We'll just sort it according to Shaijin, and we'll see here that this cruise horse beat Shaijin over about the same distance previously. So in other words, there's already one horse in the race that's beaten the horse, and it's a $1.70 favourite. So, you have to start thinking. It's down in terms of the market. If we have a look at its form, it does have a win last start in a open. So normally we don't rate them as open at the Gold Coast. It's only an 81 class race. We put it in as an open class race, and it still doesn't come anywhere near on top on the ratings. And so let's have a quick look at the sectional times. This time, no, not this time. I thought Shaijin was on top, but he's not. Catesby's on top. Shaijin's a fair way down. Let's have a look at the second last start. is the second top pick. Generally speaking, you don't want to be laying horses if they're in the top two on either last start or the second last start. Alright, so he's in the top two, but as it is here, there's only 5 horses, so if that had been a few more horses, he may not have been in the top two. You can, of course, justify the bet any way you like to do it. The beauty about this is the horse is short in price. Now, this is not as good a bet as the previous one, because he could just jump to the front and he could just lead throughout, and he's only got 52 kilos. That is if it's a he. Sorry, it's a she. Sorry, Shajin. So anyway, we'll have a look at the result. Shajin ran third. There was only 2 divvies for the place. So in other words, you could have laid the horse for the win and the place. And there you go. You have a collect there. So there's a couple of examples what you should try to go through when you're looking for horses to lay. You need to ideally have 3 features against them. One of those features can be the price, obviously. You know, if it's going to be $10, then that's not going to be a price that's going to be of any advantage to you. But in this case, these horses have had 3 things against them, and we'll document that in the notes in the course. Alright, that's the end of this video.